Alrighty, so hello everybody. My name is Kendra Belch, and I am the Community Outreach and Presentations Coordinator here at Transitions Mental Health Association. And I'm joined today with my co-presenter Shannon, and I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon, and I am a mental health presenter. So I work directly under Kendra on her team, and we do presentations just like this one. And we'll go into a little more about what we do a little later on. So, starting off with us, we're going to start off with our mission statement. So, Transitions Mental Health Association is a nonprofit organization dedicated to eliminating stigma and promoting recovery and wellness for people with mental illness through work, housing, community, and family support services. So what that looks like is we do provide care in all of San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara County. So from Lompoc all the way up to Paso and everywhere in between. And again, those are in areas of housing, work, family, community, and intensive mental health services. So we're going to go through each one for you today.
So beginning with our housing program, TMHA houses over 300 clients annually. All of our TMHA supportive housing programs do require a referral. So either a referral from the SLO County Behavioral Health Services, County of Santa Barbara Department of Behavioral Health Wellness, or an authorized homeless service provider within the Central Coast. TMHA is also a part of the Equal Housing Opportunity Providers under the Fair Housing Act as well. So here at TMHA, we have about 6 different housing programs, and they all offer a little bit of different services. So starting with our Housing Now program, this is a housing first model, and we use a measurement to determine the most at-risk individuals within our community in order to get them into immediate housing. Once we've received housing for those individuals, we also start, oh my God, I can't talk. We also start implementing case management and behavioral health services as well. Next, we have our permanent supportive housing, and this is a housing program for disabled, chronically homeless individuals and their family members. What's really cool about this program is that the tenant's rent can exceed more than 30% of their gross income, and this can be adjusted depending on the client's level of need or if they're unable to meet that 30%. There's also no maximum lengths of stay for this program, and again, those case management and behavioral health services are also provided within this. And then next we have our homeless outreach team. So this is a team of TMHA employees and professionals who go out into the community to engage with our unhoused individuals dealing with mental health challenges in order to get them linked to services and support. And their main goal is to address any of their mental, physical, or social health concerns. Next, we have ATP, or our Adult Transitional Program. This program houses 12 adults with mental health challenges, and the main goal through this program is to help them build upon their interpersonal and independent living skills. Then we have CRP, or Community Residential Program, and this program is a long-term affordable housing program, and we can meet the clients at whatever level of need of care they need, so whether that's intensive, moderate, or low-level care. And within this program, that again includes the case management and rehabilitative mental health services. We also offer psychiatric care, medical services, treatment planning, vocational and educational opportunities, along with support groups and activities to promote wellness and recovery. And then lastly, we have FSP, or our full service partnership. So this program has 33 beds. And again, this is for those who are dealing with chronic mental health challenges, and this offers the same full intensive wraparound mental health services that are listed above as well.
All right, so getting into our work problems, Anna and their team are going to talk way more about growing grounds, but basically our work programs help individuals who deal with mental health challenges and help maintain and get employment. So we basically meet our clients where they are and we help them get employment and keep employment with ongoing job support services necessary for the individual. So like I said, we meet that individual where they're at. So examples of that in that program are Growing Grounds Farms and Nursery in the downtown SLO location, which we'll get more information later on in this presentation.
Next, we have our community programs. So these are programs meant to engage with the community, get resources to our community, and educate our community. So first, we have our outreach, education, and training programs. That's actually the program that Shannon and I are under, and Shannon will share a little bit more information about our program. But our main goal is to just provide support and education and early prevention for mental health challenges. We also want to make sure that we're eliminating any stigma surrounding mental health challenges and also promoting wellness and recovery for those dealing with mental health challenges through providing resources and recovery. We also have our mental health advocacy team as well. So that is a team of TMHA individuals with lived experience who use their lived experience to connect with other people in our community dealing with certain things to help get them connected to resources. And then lastly, we also have our wellness centers and recovery learning centers. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our wellness centers, they are amazing, amazing programs. They send out monthly calendars full of activities to engage with our community, but they do different things such as support groups. They go out into the community and engage with our community. And we have wellness centers in Atascadero, SLO, and Arroyo Grande as well.
Yeah, so like I said, more on what Kendra and I do. So the types of presentations are like this one, or team of programs and services where we go out to other organizations, assisted living facilities, schools, basically anybody to get our information, our resources out there. We also have the school program, which I work directly with Kendra, where we go into schools teaching mental health 101 and suicide prevention. We also offer personal storytelling. We typically do this at Cal Poly College in their psych department, where we go in and share our mental health challenges and stories to kind of normalize different paths and journeys of mental health. We also offer individualized lessons plans. This is actually newer, and we're really, really excited about this. It's where we go in on a weekly or monthly basis into schools and go more in depth on our mental health 101 curriculum. So who do we present to? We present to high schools, junior highs. We're hoping to get into elementary schools, community schools, and colleges as well, and all other community members and organizations that want to have us. And then as far as outreach, we basically do any outreach available, but that could look like school resource fairs, community events, Pride Month events, or overdose awareness events as well.
Next, we also have our behavioral health navigators. So these are individuals who work with peer support to help people get connected to local resources. So they can help their clients with any amount or any level of need that their client may need. So that can look like support with appointments, helping their client navigate the mental health support system. As I'm sure we're all aware of, it can be incredibly frustrating and incredibly isolating to navigate the mental health support system, especially when you're going through a mental health challenge already. So our behavioral health navigators are there to help their clients navigate that. They're also there to help with community engagement. So whether that's building support systems or going to things such as social events or local meetings and conferences and support groups. And then of course, they also help assist with support groups as well. So whether that's helping their clients find a support group, helping them figure out transportation to their support group, or helping them through the actual support group as well. With our behavioral health navigators, they serve ages 13 and up, and we also do have specialty navigators who serve the ages 13 to 25.
Next, we have our family services. So family services are really awesome. It's basically for any family, loved one, caretaker, caregiver who's supporting someone who's going through a mental health challenge. Like Kendra said, it is very difficult to navigate the mental health world. So family services is going to help you help someone navigate it for them. All of the resources are offered in English and in Spanish. One thing to keep in mind is kind of separated into two categories. So loved ones, friends, or anyone supporting someone over the age of 18 or under the age of 18. So that could look like support groups, family classes, orientation classes, active parenting classes, NAMI family to family classes, or parent project class. Now, I know a lot of these say family or parent, but again, I want to reiterate that it's for any loved one, caregiver, friend who's helping someone go through a mental health challenge. When you're helping someone go through that, it can be very, very challenging and exhausting. So these are people that can work on one-on-one or in support groups to help you navigate the mental health world.
And then lastly, we have our forensic services. So we have our forensic reentry team, or FRS team. And these are case managers who work with our county jail to help clients that are being discharged transition back into the community. We also have our community action team, which are our team of social workers who work very closely with our local law enforcement to answer any mental health calls or crisis calls that they might be getting. So typically they work side by side with law enforcement in the field just to help make sure that nothing gets escalated and that they can offer immediate resources in the field, and then also providing case management, therapy, referral, and long-term support after as well. And then we also have FSP, or a full service partnership program. So this program is intensive wraparound multidisciplinary clinical services. So this program is the whatever it takes model, whatever the clients need or whatever they need, we do whatever we can to make sure we help them. So whether that's individual or group therapy, help with independent living skills and housing, regular psychiatric and medical care, 24/7 crisis response, symptom monitoring, or employment and educational opportunities as well. And then we also have YTP, or Youth Treatment Program. So this is another one of our residential programs specifically for youth that are struggling with their living situations. They need different structure, and they also need help with their mental health and mental support. So because this is a housing program, this does also still require a referral from either the SLO County Behavioral Health Services or the County of Santa Barbara Department of Behavioral Wellness.
All right, and last but definitely not least is our Central Coast Hotline. We'd like to say if you remember anything from our presentation that we hope you remember this. So the Central Coast Hotline is a 24-hour, completely free, completely anonymous hotline. What's different than the 998 number, the national line, is if you call that number, you're gonna get someone from, who knows where trying to get you resources. Instead, if you call in or text to the Central Coast Hotline, you're gonna get someone from our area who's already familiar with our resources. And again, that's 24/7, completely free. As you mentioned, I said text. We did just offer a texting feature, which has been incredibly important. If you're ever in a situation where you don't want someone to overhear you, or maybe you feel anxious calling on the phone, you can text us. One thing to note is that the Central Coast Hotline, if you call, you can call in any language, and we have language support to be able to respond to you. Texting right now is only in English, but we hope to get to Spanish and other languages soon. One thing with the hotline we like to say is you do not have to be in active crisis to call or text in. Let's say you wake up one morning and you're not feeling great. Text us, and we'll text you out the day to make sure you're doing okay. Or maybe you had a really tough conversation with a friend and you don't know how to provide them resources for housing, for substance abuse, for a tough home situation. Call or text us, and we can help you find resources for that person. So it's basically for any and all mental health services in our county, which is really, really incredible. On our side of things, we have an entire directory of resources beyond TMHA, so we can connect you to the resource that you need that best fits you. And lastly, we do offer 15 free brief therapy trials within the Central Coast Hotline, so it's a great way to start if you're looking for a therapist as well.
And lastly, if you scan that QR code that's on the screen, it will also automatically add the Central Coast Hotline into your contacts on your phone. We always say, even if you never end up using this as a resource, it's always a good idea to have it just in case of emergencies. You never know when you might need some extra support one day or when a friend or loved one might. So anyways, I know we're going to take questions at the end, so we're going to go ahead and pass this back on to Anna so she can talk more about her amazing program over at the Growing Grounds.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kendra and Shannon. That was really informative and just a great overview of all the cool things TMHA does. So we are going to share our screen. One participant. Let's see. I'm going to do this one. Did it do this one? Window, entire screen. I wanted to share this one. Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm Anna Wiens, and this is, well, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sterling Snow. I'm the farm supervisor at Growing Grounds Farm.
Yeah, and today we're going to tell you about our 3 amazing Growing Grounds Enterprise programs. We have the one that we're zooming in from Santa Maria, and 2 up in San Luis Obispo, as Kendra and Shannon mentioned. And yeah, we're just going to get into some of the details of our Growing Grounds programs. So Also, as Kendra and Shannon mentioned, TMHA's overall mission is to eliminate stigma and promote recovery through all the different avenues that you heard. And specifically, the Growing Grounds programs are work focused. So we're helping people get back into the workforce and gain some job skills. Another interesting thing about our programs is that we're all social enterprises. And a social enterprise is just a mission-driven business with a focus on hiring and assisting people who might normally face barriers to work. So while we do have some county contracts and grants that help fund us, we're also functional businesses that are earning revenues based on the different things that we sell.
TMHA has long recognized the important role that work plays in mental health recovery, and so establishing our first work program back in 1984 with the Growing Grounds Farm and Nursery in San Luis Obispo. And then 16 years later, with the success of Growing Grounds Nursery as a model, TMHA expanded into northern Santa Barbara County, opening up the Growing Grounds Farm here in Santa Maria in the year 2000. And then later on in 2005, the Growing Grounds downtown store was opened, which provided clients with a retail sales work experience and then greater interaction with the community as well.
Yeah, so while all the Growing Grounds programs are each unique in the specifics of what we do in our businesses, they do all have some core things in common. They're all vocational training programs for adults that have a mental health diagnosis that incorporate horticultural therapy principles and provide a supportive environment for job skills development and personal growth and recovery.
We also provide an accessible entry point to the workforce in which no prior work experience is needed. In addition, provide a safe and supportive environment for strengthening social skills. And then go ahead.
Yeah, and then we're always getting to know people, and as they're progressing in their journey, we're providing increased opportunities for responsibility and leadership. And at each of our programs, it's meant to be a transitional employment opportunity. So that might be 6 months for some people. It might be a few years for others, but it is meant, well, I should say the programs are meant to be stepping stones to gaining the skills to find employment in the community. So I just want to touch a little bit on the horticultural therapy side of what it is that we do. At our farms and at the retail shop, really what we're doing is more therapeutic horticulture. But basically the concepts of therapeutic horticulture and horticultural therapy are well established and apply to all of our programs. So research has shown that nature and gardening and horticulture are calming and meditational. They give a sense of enjoyment and achievement. They encourage socializing and interaction while reducing anxiety and stress.
And some of the benefits of gardening with regards to mental health is that it can affect mood. So gardening can make us feel more peaceful and content, focusing our attention on the immediate task and details of gardening, which reduces negative thoughts and feelings that make us feel better in the moment. Also boosts self-esteem. So self-esteem is how much we value and feel positively about ourselves. Helping a plant grow is a big accomplishment. When we see our work pay off with healthy plants and happy customers, it kind of gives a sense of pride and boosts that up. It also improves our attention span. So gardening can change how well we pay attention to a single activity by learning to concentrate on what's right in front of us without getting distracted. Studies show that outdoor activities can reduce similar symptoms of ADHD. Also, our brains can't worry and focus on our five senses at the same time. So as we are working with our hands in the dirt, we're getting to take a break from some stressors. It's also provides a little bit of exercise. Things like weeding, digging, and raking, pretty good exercise. And then having regular exercise also reduces anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. And in some cases can even help prevent dementia. And then here at the farm, there's also a social aspect in which gardening with others takes teamwork to achieve shared goals. And then just being part of a larger group can benefit our mental health by increasing our social connections and our support system. All right, so now we will get into more specifics about what is unique about each of the programs.
Thanks, Sterling. That was great. So yeah, our Growing Grounds Farm and Nursery in San Luis Obispo, like we mentioned, is our first Growing Grounds program established in the 80s. This year is actually our 40th anniversary, so it's a big deal. There'll be a big celebration in April on the 20th. So if you're on the Central Coast or heading this way, please stop by and visit us that day. We'd love to see you. So we're located on a PG&E substation property, actually, and they have graciously leased us that land for the last 40 years. And we're a wholesale nursery. So we didn't start out that way. We actually started out as a lettuce farm, but over all of those years, the business side of the program has adapted, and so we are a wholesale nursery that is open to landscapers and sells to our local retail nurseries as well. And we specialize in succulents, California natives, trees, and Mediterranean perennials. Basically everything that just thrives here on the Central Coast. So the nursery has served 2,000 people since 1984, and every year another 65 people come through our program and gain valuable work experience and job skills. New employees can expect to work when they're starting out at the farm between 3 to 20 hours a week. And that just depends on what's seasonally going on at the farm, what their skill set might be, and everybody is paid minimum wage. And at the nursery, people are involved in just all the aspects of production on a production nursery. So we have transplanting and pot weeding, doing some weeding around the nursery, a lot of hand watering, selecting and preparing orders to go out to nurseries, and helping on deliveries.
Next up is our Growing Grounds Farm in Santa Maria. It's a small, roughly 5-acre property located in northern Santa Barbara County. The farm is really unique and a special place. We grow pesticide-free vegetables and fruit and cut flowers in our fields. And then many varieties of edible plant starts are available in our nursery for your average home gardener.
And in the spring, again, if you guys are on the Central Coast and you love gardening, please come and visit us. You'll have the opportunity to find us on Instagram and Facebook later, but you can see what kind of cool events that we have. We have a lot of neat things coming up in the spring. We specialize in growing around 40 different types of tomato starts for home gardeners. So it's a fun time in the spring here.
We also employ roughly 50 people every year here at the farm. Folks are paid minimum wage and work varying shifts from 3 to 15 hours per week, usually starting with just like a single 3-hour shift for a week. Employees are involved in every aspect of production here on the farm, so from planting and transplanting to weeding and seeding. And then folks can expect to do some watering, harvesting, pruning, and even some customer service.
And then last but certainly not least is our Growing Grounds Downtown, which is a little alleyway shop in downtown San Luis Obispo. It's located across the street from a historic California mission. So as you're doing your sightseeing in the area, be sure to stop by and see us. We have a lot of tourists that come and visit us. The store specializes in houseplants. We have some succulents and air plants as well. And then different gift items. We try to support local artists and then get some fair trade items in as well. So the shop, as I mentioned, is an alleyway kind of in between building, and it's pretty small. So we're limited in space and serve a smaller number of people per year, but we still serve 20 people every year. And employees work between 3 to 6 hours a week, and they're helping us with everything that you might do at a retail shop. So pricing incoming orders and helping us merchandise the shop so that it looks nice, doing some plant care and cleaning and watering and some cashiering and customer service as well. And we have a new Square register, so people are getting an opportunity to gain cashiering experience. So they're prepared to go out and work at some other retail shops. And if this just got you going and you're interested in learning more about the Growing Grounds, please check out this video that was put together a couple of years ago for us. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called Growing Grounds Enterprises, A Chance to Work. And it's about 10 minutes of more testimonials from people, some more history of the Growing Grounds, and some cool panoramic kind of shots and stuff. So yeah, check that out if you want to learn more. And then, like I mentioned, we'd love for you to come and visit us. I'd love to know where some of you folks are coming from. So I know that this is an international conference, but yeah, if you're ever in the area, come check us out. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram, see more of what we're doing. And yeah, thank you for joining us today. And then I kind of took what you were going to say, Sterling, hogged that all. So we're going to turn it over to Jaylyn and Larry, who are going to share about their experience at the farm, and they're also going to lead a Q&A panel of some of our current employees that can tell you about what it's like to work here. So I'm going to turn it over to them, and then we'll save any more questions for the end of our entire presentation.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear us properly? Just so how far it is. Good?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you sound great.
So my name is Jaylyn Tell. I worked here at Growing Grounds for 2 years now, and I'm 22 years old. Working here was more than what I expected. I thought it would be, kind of just like no one really cared, it's just a work system, go to work, this and that, but it completely, caught me, basically by surprise. And like starting here, I was more timid, more shy, really not like, being more open and all this. And it made me like want to lead, want me to learn more, and kind of broke me out of my little like, oh, to myself, people tell me what to do, but like now it's like I can like lead a group, I can help someone, I could watch them grow as I grow and learn more, and it made me feel like I was worth, living, because I have mental illnesses, and my main ones are depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia. So I didn't even want to wake up. I didn't even want to come do this. But working here made me like, okay, I got to wake up and I got to learn how to plant something and make it grow. So then I can, make people like happy what they're gonna buy their produce. Like a lot of people really love tomatoes. And just knowing that like I help seed, I help like grow it, make sure it's clean, and it makes me feel good. And it makes me know that like I did something, and it made my mental state a lot better. I can communicate with people, I can be more out there, more open, even though I'm kind of like that, but even more. So, and even like I'm doing this internship right now, and it's like I lead groups, and then if someone has a question, I can be there and I can help them with that question and go step by step with them. And it really did make me feel like I can be more than what I thought myself. And it's playing in dirt really makes you it made me really feel happy at least. And it's probably just one of like the best experiences I've had here, and it made me even go home. Like I can go home and my grandma be like, "How do you plant this?" And I'm like, I learned this. Like in, because she's also not really in a good place. So like me going out there with her and helping her plant, and it makes me like it's an at-home thing too. So it's not just at home. And it's like it's so nice. It's so nice working here. I really thought it was just gonna be a one and done, but there's so much I can learn, so much I can do in the new workforce if I move on to say retail or something. It helped me with people and how to handle conflict and really just stand my ground and learn more and learn from mistakes as well. And like I made a few mistakes and more than usually more than what you should, but it really I learned from it. So now I don't make that mistake again, and I can make it, good. You know what I mean? And it makes me more comfortable. And I've met a lot of great people here. They're very understanding. They took their time with me and explained stuff because I don't really I have a very hard time in learning stuff, but they were willing to be like, hey, like it's okay, let's take our time, let's work this out. And then I can do that now with other coworkers, and they'd be like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you know what, I'll take the time, I'll help you out. It's like this is A, B, and C, and seeing them like get it, and they're like, oh, it's just like, oh, it makes me really happy. And meeting all these people, and I kind of want to work more in the mental health area so I can see and people grow and do well as well, because I don't want them feeling sad how I did. I want them to know that they're important and know that even though they did this, you did really well. Just even planting a little seed and watching that little seed grow to something super beautiful. That's what's really made my experience here, worth everything. So yeah, that's me. I'm Jaylyn. Nice meeting you.
Wow, that was really good. I don't think I can add actually anything to that. That's good. But I will try. My name is Larry, and I live here in Santa Maria, and I've worked at the growing grounds for a little over 5 years. I'm a farm worker too, and wig intern. And Sterling and Anna kind of went over the things that we do, but I'll repeat some of them. People always ask me, what do you do at the farm? Work orders, filling those, weeding, planting, harvesting, plant moving, irrigation, pruning, nursery maintenance, training and leadership of small groups, and other required duties. And it's all kind of intended to develop soft job skills, experience, and help with assets to assist me in transitioning to a job in the community. We even have an on-site job coach. Mine is David Wheeler, who helps me find other employment, which I have had, I think, about 4 other jobs in addition to the growing grounds, which has helped me expand my horizons and branch out there. And I found the growing grounds in 2015, and it was about 6 years after a very traumatic event I had. Very sad, alone. I lived like a hermit, and I lost a lot of my social skills, which really kind of frightened me. I used to be a radio DJ, had a lot of interaction with a lot of people, and I just could not speak to people anymore. And behavioral wellness, they suggested that I come on over. By the way, that's when I found out about the growing grounds, was through our local behavioral wellness center, which is only 2 blocks away. Fantastic distance. So when I have therapy morning, I get to come here and think about it and meditate on what's going on. And then when I have groups 2 days a week afterwards, I get to think about what I'm going to talk with my facilitator at the Behavioral Wellness Center. So it's really, isn't it a really nice situation, which is how everything is located here at the Growing Grounds. It's fantastic. Sorry, I have some notes that I'm reading off here. Some of the benefits of the Growing Grounds, I could take up the rest of this, like just saying what has happened to me. But really having somewhere to go and look forward to going, you know, when you're in isolation for years, the days just become one long day, one long depressing experience. And having just that one day when I started to come in for 3 hours a day, it was a godsend. I could get my shift in and oh man, I have another 7 days till I get in. I can talk to people, which I think Shannon mentioned it was the socialization. It's really a traumatic thing not being able to talk to people, but immediately you have supervisors that you can speak with who will actually prompt you to talk about your own life, which is really a blessing. And then you get to talk to other people who are experiencing similar things. You don't feel so danged alone in the world with what's happening to you. Of course, you get a little bit of money, pride, complete pride in where I work, and slowly interact with the world around me. I operated the farm stand for a while. You get to interact with the awesome people around this community. They are so supportive and even, I mean, like some of the psychotropic drugs we take or I take, they kind of limit my speech ability, my eyesight, and my hearing. And everyone is just so accommodating and understanding. And that is really incredible because I'm really self-critical. I said, I'm just gonna move down. Okay. And just some of the things that I have acquired through that time since 2015, driver's license, and in relation to the Growing Grounds, because I had to take the bus here, I got a car gifted to me by one of the passengers on the bus, which was fantastic. I just recently got an apartment 3 months ago, which is fantastic. And, you know, the really big thing is you can really see the results of your labor here, whether it's a plant or a seed you've done. You get to see it like within 3 or 4 weeks, the fruits of your labor. That's a really bad pun, but I'll leave it there. And also how time is measured, you know, you know, being on the internet and trying to get things really done quickly, being at the farm, it kind of slows the world down a little bit. You know, the seed goes in the ground and then it takes a while to plant and then transplant, you're watering it. And so there's a process to achieving something. So if I didn't get that job right away, well, you know, there's some more time and some more effort to actually get to that point where you get what you want, which is fantastic. I'm very grateful for this place. And this one last thing that I'm sure other people do experience is like with the adjustment of medication that affects all of the things I mentioned, sometimes going out into the community and working is problematic because they don't really understand the problems that I experience. But of course, this place does, and I love it for that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one segmented to.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so sorry. So now for this portion, we are going to question our fellow coworkers. Just simple questions about how they feel about working here at the farm. So if you guys would like to introduce yourself.
My name is Corey. I'm 34. I'm a farmhand 2 position, and I've worked here for 2 years.
My name is Erlene Mateo. I'm 55. My position is farm worker 2. I've been here for 2 years and I love it at Growing Grounds.
Okay, Corey, here's the first question. How has the working at the Growing Grounds improved your mental health?
Well, I mean, a lot of what you said is pretty much same words for me. I was a paranoid, isolated person. I was socially dysfunctional. I mean, I still am, but coming out here, it teaches you how to get comfortable working with people.
Yeah.
And it's a structured environment and they take it at a good pace, you know, and they kind of go at your own pace for you. What makes you comfortable, and they let you develop skills through that, and it's been a really nice experience. Plus, I really love working outside and I love being outside, and it's very satisfying.
Fantastic, thank you. Do you want to take that?
Well, she's gonna do one.
Oh, okay,
Same one?
Yes.
same one.
Okay. It improved my mental health. When I started here, I was a hermit. I had been a hermit for 3 years by myself. So when I finally came here, I was kind of withdrawn. And it took me about 2 months to get used to it. Everybody was great to me. They really helped me a lot. They got to know me and helped me, and my mental health has improved 100%. I'm on medications that keep me going, and this job makes my day. This is where I want to be when I wake up. So that's it.
Alrighty. Well, our second question is, how has working at the Growing Grounds Farms impacted you?
It's taught me to have a routine weekly. I have to be somewhere on time and I have to go through my shift, no matter how I'm feeling that day. It just, you learn to push yourself and do it. And then over time, you feel like you can do way more. Sometimes I come out here and I'm like, man, I could work 6 hours. I could do this all week. That's how it's impacted me.
And for me, it impacted me by teaching me, taught me how to grow plants. I had a black thumb. When I came out here, I thought I was going to kill every plant that I touched. They put me in seeding. I wasn't so sure about seeding. I was really worried. Ended up they grew, and with it, I grew. And Susana, she used to work here, taught me how to seed, how to do it correctly, how to take my time, and not to be nervous around other people. So that's how it affected me. I can get along with people and I can talk to people. It makes it easier.
Excellent. Okay, Corey, how has or is working at the Growing Grounds prepared you to enter the workplace?
I mean, it's not the first job I've had,
Mhm.
but it's the most satisfying job. I like this kind of work. And I feel like it's prepared me. I think learning these skills is good for in the future in any situation where you would have to sustain yourself or your family or something. That's the way I look at it.
Thank you. And Berlene?
Prepared me for the workforce. I'm more willing to go out and deal with people face to face. I'm more of a social butterfly than I ever dreamed I was going to be. I can talk to anyone. I didn't used to be able to talk to anyone. I go up to strangers and talk to them all day long if they want. It's taught me how to walk into a job and have confidence and to pride myself on what I've done. I've done some good work. I know I have. And so it's really helped me. It helped me to be able to look at different kinds of jobs, not necessarily working in a cashier's job, but actually working outside. I love it.
Just to tag on to the skills that you learned to enter the workplace, one thing that I lacked was showing up for like about 4 years, but being here, it just taught me the value of showing up, whether I was really depressed or I had some anxiety, just go anyway, because you're in an environment where that's okay.
It changes you.
Now, for the fun aspects of our workplace, is there a job or activity you enjoy doing at the Growing Grounds, and share why?
Whatever you guys need. I particularly don't like weeding, but everything else I do like. And there's lots of frogs sometimes. There's hundreds of frogs out here, and it's kind of fun to see them hopping around wherever you're working. But I like doing whatever they need me to do.
I like growing plants. I grow them at home. I've had a 200 plant grow at home, thanks to the Growing Grounds. They were a lot of help teaching me how to grow those plants. I like working with people. I didn't think I would. I really enjoy it. Okay. You're next.
Okay. Next, if someone was interested in what to expect at working at the growing grounds, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would base it on maybe what some of their what their effects of their diagnosis has on them.
Mm.
You know, depending on what they struggle with, you know, you could tell them how working out there could help them with that symptom. And one of the big ones is like if you have psychosis in social situations, this could help you get out of that a little bit. You have like delusional thinking, kind of where you're super paranoid. I think this is a good environment to really clear your head of that and realize you can talk to people and kind of push out those negative thoughts. You struggle with that symptom.
Yeah.
Definitely is a safe space. We all feel safe here. We know that we can go and talk to our supervisors and our managers, and we know that they're going to listen. They're going to give us advice, which is something that we don't get out in the world a whole lot of. I think that we teach a lot of people like myself how to just be here, how to get up and want to be somewhere and enjoy it. It's actually an enjoyable job.
Yeah, to add on to what Corey said about the psychosis, because that's one of my mental illnesses is schizophrenia. I was secluded in my house for like 3 months. I did not go outside. The sun scared me. It was so bad. And coming here, I was like, no, I can't. Everything's too much for me. And then like the voices and the shadow that I would see would always act up, be like, you can't do it. But once working here, it really was like, no, you can. Like, you can do this. Whatever it's telling you is like bringing you down. That's all a lie. And I learned that from working here. And so, yeah, if you have like these psychosis or very, very depleting thoughts, like coming here really brought me out. It was like, nah, that's a lie. Like, I can do it. So
Yeah, I think you see our heads bobbing and nodding in agreement, which it happens a lot here. You know, we finally get to be around people who are experiencing the very same things that we are experiencing, and they are working and doing it and thriving. And so maybe, you know, I can
Maybe
do
we
that
all
as well.
see all
Yeah, it's a great example for us all.
you're never alone. You're
Yeah.
always with someone. So if you think you're doing this alone, you got a lot of people behind you to help you walk with you.
It's just like the Michael Jackson song, "You Are Not Alone."
Yeah.
Was there anything else that anyone had to share that we haven't asked?
Do you think you would like to say, or?
I think we covered everything. I think your first part was right on point.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Corey. That's
I think you did great.
treat on me after.
Right.
Okay, I think that we're finished on our side now.
Okay, guys, that was definitely my favorite part of the presentation. My heart is full. I'm so grateful that you shared all of that. You know, I think that we don't often get to hear from people that we're working with here, like how working here is impacting you and what difference it's making. We're just saying, go harvest those beautiful snapdragons. And then when you're done, this is what we're doing next. So it's really cool. Thank you for sharing. And, you know, we're getting close to the end of what we've prepared, but we want to open it up for questions from people. I do see some info in the chat, so I will pull that up and see if there are any questions there that we need to attend to. Thank you guys for participating. So cool. Yeah, I'll just read this to you guys because I don't, Jaylyn and Larry and y'all over in the other room. I don't know if you see this, but this is a message from Gail. They say, hello, first peer advocate hired at San Pedro Mental Health Clinic in Los Angeles. Thank you for being true to your most authentic selves. You are important. You matter. We all matter. We need each other to grow as a community, and wellness and recovery is possible no matter what it looks like. As you all know, we meet anyone right where they are at, and the goal is to chip away with no judgments with who we get to work with or whether it's judging ourselves. That doesn't work. What does work is bringing our best self to any relationship, and it always begins with self-love and self-care. And then I can fill up somebody else's cup with abundance, real help, and most importantly, compassion. I'm proud I've been working full-time for 20 years with great accomplishments, and now I'm headed to Washington, D.C. as I continue to raise my voice in advocacy for all those challenged with mental illness, addictions, no matter what the case, I'm there. Thanks, Gail, so much for sharing about your story and journey and some things that you've learned along the way, and encouragement. We really appreciate you just speaking up and sharing your truth and encouraging us with it. Are there any other questions from participants that you have for any of us, for any of the panel, for Sterling and I, for Kendra and Shannon? You guys don't have any questions, I see.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. Thank you all for the wonderful presentation. Of course, I'm a little bit biased because I very much love the work that you all do in outreach and also at the farms, but I'm with you, Anna. It's just so great to hear the stories and just the impact that the farm and work and peer connection is having on people's lives, to hear it right from the panel. And so I'm in agreement. I've been to several sessions today, and that really just uplifted me and also reminded me of why we're all here, to really support each other and work towards our collective healing. So thank you again for the presentation.
Absolutely, Barry. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, I also just want to say thank you for the panel. For outreach, we go out and we give this presentation all the time. So it's so wonderful to hear people who work on the farm and their experiences that now we can share in the community too. Because maybe your story that if we share when we're doing our outreach will stick to someone and maybe they'll want to join the same program. So that was really beautiful. And thank you for sharing your vulnerabilities with us. Really, really appreciated that.
I see claps from Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, well, Cassidy, it looks like that's all of the questions that we have, and that's all.